the people who are mothers. I got to spend time with my mom this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Friday, my sister graduated from college and she's headed to med school at UCLA. And then Saturday, we actually were at a funeral. So it's been a kind of a crazy weekend. So we actually laid low. I just like got her flowers, sent her a card. And I was like, okay. And everybody's kind of, because the entire family was in for the weekend. I have 7 siblings. So the entire family, it was a really busy weekend. I don't know if this lighting is okay. What do you guys think? I can't really tell. Okay. Anyway, so in the spirit of Mother's Day and just relationships in general, I am going to respond to the Gary Owens interview with Club Shay Shay because I was just thinking about how relationships with mothers and fathers are so different and how intentional you have to be as a parent to have a good relationship with your child, and how that is often missed in fatherhood if they've not been taught like what it means to be a father. So we're going to listen to him discuss his relationship with his kids after his divorce and some of the confusion that he had around why they responded the way that they did to him. And I'm just going to comment on it as a daughter, as a child of a man also who has a father in her life, and also from an educator's perspective, just watching kids and talking to kids and understanding their viewpoint, and just have a little discussion about parenthood and children's relationships with their parents. And I guess some of this could really be applied to friendships too. So we're gonna do that. So let me see if I can play this
with the other parents, and then because he's working with kids, and then I just get to see him amongst in his element. And so I went on my podcast and I said, yeah, I got to see my. I didn't ensure that my relationship.
Hold on.
Yes, and I said, yeah, I got to see my son. It was nice. And I said, I'm proud of him. He's doing good, And I had a part in that. And then our oldest, we don't say step, but our oldest, he's living back in Ohio, got a house, got a girl, just working, doing his thing. So as far as like success, I have 3 kids. Never got a phone call ever when they was in school. There was a problem. Never had a problem meeting friends. They were never out wilding. So we did our job as parents. But to see how it's just crashed and burned since the divorce, and this is all since the divorce.
Do you believe she played a role in the divide with your kids?
I'll take the blame because I didn't ensure that my relationship with them was so strong that no matter what anybody said to them, they could be like, nah, my dad's good. So, I was gone a lot.
Right.
I'm on the road.
Right.
And that's part of the other week. Man, I really don't know. I don't want to throw stones and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if she's at the house seeing your daddy. I don't know.
Okay, so here's the first thing. Shannon is messy. First of all, he's very messy for seeing because there is this narrative that women, when they're in a divorce, they will say negative things about the child's father. But I will tell you guys, working with kids, that kids also know to what degree a parent has been involved. Now, when they're younger, they don't really have a say. Like up until I think in California, up until 11, they can't make a decision on if they want to speak to their parent or not. They can't make a decision on that. But I think, so yes, a parent can have a negative influence on how, like a mom can have a negative influence on how a child views a father up until about 11 in that way. But after that, kids can make decisions on whether or not they want to speak to someone. And he almost took accountability. Like he almost said, I didn't make sure that I had a relationship with these kids before I left. He was like, I was gone a lot, which is true. And that brings me to the main point of this video. I think one thing that I appreciate about mothers, and this is not that fathers don't do this, because I know that a lot of fathers will do this. This one did not. Is pursuing your children and getting to know your children and investing in your children in a way that is not monetary. So a lot of parents, I've noticed a lot of dads are like, I clothed you, I fed you, I gave you, you have this house. And it's like, yes, we should be grateful for that. But when it comes to building relationships, people need to know that you care about them because the government can give you money. The government can feed you. The government can put you in housing, right? But what makes that relationship so special and makes someone want to stay is having a relationship where they're knowing your heart and you know who they are and they respect, there's a mutual respect and love for each other. And it sounds like, we're going to keep listening, but it sounds like Gary was unable to do that. It sounds like he was not able to, and I don't want to blame him because I think the job of being a comedian is really tough because of the travel. So I don't want to negate that or downplay the relevance or necessity of that. And he's right. He gave them a great life financially, but to automatically jump to, oh, the mother is saying bad things about your father. That's possibly true, but also you cheated on her. They're not dumb. Like, kids are not dumb. And if they have any ounce of integrity, they're going to side with the person that they feel like was wronged. That is how they're going to feel. That's just human nature. If you have a deep relationship with one parent and the other parent wrongs that parent, you are going to side with the parent who you feel the most connected to. And not that this is a reason to, but this is why parents have to be mutually and equally involved to the extent that they can. I don't know if he was calling them every night while he was, away on tour. Obviously, he found time to cheat. So it's like, you found time to cheat, but you didn't find time to build a relationship with your kids. I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect?
I mean, I do know blasting me on social media didn't help. And then other shit happened, we'll get into in a little bit, where my real dad didn't help. There's other things, but it was just like, I just don't know where it got so bad. You know what I mean? That I'm just literally the worst human being on the planet. And it's funny, I ran into my ex last week. We was on a plane. We were on a plane from Atlanta to Cincinnati.
Come on, Gary.
I ain't gonna really lie now. I just said I cheated. That's been the freaking elephant in the room. So I got nothing to hide anymore. So I'm sitting there, and I sit on the plane. I go, ain't no way this is happening. Ain't no way this is happening.
I don't see it.
I'm like, I was in the window like.
You know what's funny to me is like the audacity of people to expect that you should forgive a parent for ruining, like, these children love their mother and they love their father. But for you to expect for them to go, oh, it's okay. It's okay that you broke my mother's heart. It's okay that you broke the marriage vow. It's okay that you disrespected her. Oh yeah, it's okay. Let me love you. Like, to expect children to not have a sense of right and wrong is almost what's happening here. It's like, oh, you should just dismiss and forgive everything that I've ever done because I'm your father. No, these children watched you go out and go on tour and find time to cheat on their mother, but not find time to build a relationship with them. And you don't know why this went wrong? I'm sorry, but this is not confusing. This is quite simple, actually. And the flippancy in which he talks about this, they can see it. Like, your children are not dumb. And as I said, once children get to about middle school, they are really good at reading energy. I can say this as a middle school teacher. They are really good at reading energy. And what I mean by that is they're really good at telling if someone is remorseful or if someone even cares. And they are not into it. So the fact that he's like, yeah, I cheated, and they should, I don't know why it got so bad, because you broke their mother's heart, and their mother was the one who was there, after school when they were crying. Their mother was the one who was there when they had problems with their friends. Their mother was the one who was there helping them with their homework. Their mother was at the parent-teacher conferences. And that is not to belittle the work of fathers, because a lot of fathers have to work long hours. I don't know. I have thoughts about that now as I get married and getting closer to having children. I have thoughts about that. I have thoughts about the fact that, do you really have to work like that? Or are you trying to provide something that maybe your kids don't need? Because the reality is that your kids need their relationship with you more than they need your money. Yes, you need to have a roof over their head. Yes, you need to provide, but you also have to do the work of building and establishing a relationship with them, especially if you're going to go out and cheat. I'm just going to say, like, if you're going to go cheat, you need to build a relationship with your children, because I guarantee you they will choose their mother. because to them, you're just a bank. And you can say that that's wrong, but children are feeling, emotive beings. That's what they are. They're children. They need to be talked to, listened to, taught, nurtured by males and females, by their fathers and their mothers. And so when you talk about, well, why did they decide they wanted to go with their mother? Well, they watched you cheat on her and break her heart and then not really exhibit any remorse and just go, I want to divorce you. That's why they're so upset. This is not rocket science. Like, to act like this is a mystery is kind of like, it's disingenuous. And he's towing a fine line here because he doesn't want to get in, he can't say, oh, these kids, typical Black woman, these kids, like, my wife took my kids away from me. No, she didn't. You cheated on her and then expected your children to turn a blind eye to your disrespect to their mother, who they built a relationship with, and turn to you. Why would they want to be in the presence of someone who is a scamming, cheating liar? To expect your children to do that is actually, you should be thankful, because they are choosing not to align themselves with someone who has no integrity. Do I think they should never talk to him again? No. But to act like you don't know why this is happening is kind of like, yeah, it's not working for me. That's not okay, and children should always have a say. I think they should have a say too, up until they're like, I think because in California, I think we have 11 or 12 here. I would hate my dad if you did that. Yeah, I would not have any respect for my father if he cheated on my mom. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. It would be very hard for me to look at him in the eye and be like, yes, like everything's okay. And for Gary to expect that, I'm like, oh, I thought you were wiser than that. I did. If you wanted to go out and cheat, you should have never married her. But to pretend like you guys have a happy family, no. You tore, and in their eyes, you tore that family apart because it was you who cheated. It was not her.
You like a kid. You like a kid. Look out the window.
So she didn't see me when she got on the plane. We go to baggage claim. She sees me. She comes up. We start talking, and that's when I was like, I said, I'm just kind of asking her, like, how do we get this right with the kids? And then I keep telling her, like, look, when they call, I'm there. I don't care if I got to show them, cancel it. The minute they say, Dad, I'm ready to talk, I'm out.
Right.
I'll go to where they're at.
Too little, too late. Too little, too late. This should have been his mentality when he was touring. And I know that's really, really hard. I have a husband who works a lot. When you're successful, you work a lot. But we have blocked time off on our calendar where it's like, this is more important than money. Like, this time is more important than money. And if he wanted to have that relationship with his children, he should have done that. And that's, I think, a lesson that people learn really late in life. I actually learned that very late in life too. I spent my 20s and, my 20s, because I'm mid-30s now, just overworking, thinking that I just need to work more and more and more. And I missed out on so much life, and I missed out on so many people's events because I was working. And I had to learn the hard way that no amount of money is going to build a relationship. That doesn't matter. And so he's learning this at his big age of 55 or whatever he is, that he's asking his ex-wife, oh, well, if they call me, I'm there and I'll cancel a show now. Yeah, because you have your money now. And you can do that. But you have to think about that prior to this situation, especially if you're going to go out and cheat. You better have a relationship with your kids, not me giving you free game on how to sustain a relationship with your children after you defame your wife and their mother. But he should have had this perspective to begin with.
So when I talked to her about the kids, I told her, I said, I wish you would just say it's time. It's time, because they do listen to you.
Yes.
Enough. Mm-hmm. There's no abuse here. There's no mental abuse. There's no physical abuse. They had a great childhood.
Yes.
Great private school. Paid for my daughter's college.
Do you hear what he keeps saying? They had a great childhood. I paid for this. I went to private school. They went to private school. I did this. I did that. Kids don't care about that if you're not there to speak to their heart. They don't care. Your kids do not care about your money. That's what I should have titled this live stream. Your kids do not care about your money. They care about your heart. And it's, you know what's I think is sad too is we're just now as a society realizing, men and women, the importance of relationship, because we've gotten to a point where like everybody's making good money, like, right? There's an opportunity for a lot of people to make good money. You see these influencers throwing out their bags and bags of designer shoes, designer clothes, designer bags, because they realize that that was not going to make them happy. The same thing goes for kids. I think we're coming into an awakening where parents are realizing that they can buy their kids private school, the best house, the iPad, the shoes, the clothes, and that's not going to bring them closer to their children, and that's not going to make their children respect them. And unfortunately, Gary is finding this out the hard way. He's still in that old school mentality of like, I gave you this and therefore you should respect me. Do I think they should disrespect their dad? No. But to me, not speaking to a parent who literally broke your mother's heart and you have a relationship with your mother is standard. It's sort of expected at this point. Like, to me, I'm not surprised that they would choose their mother over him. Do I think that she should encourage them to reconcile? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I think it's hard to respect someone who has no integrity. And then why do you build a relationship with someone that you don't respect? Does that make sense? Like, I would struggle with that as an adult. Like, if I don't respect you, how do I build a relationship with you? And why should I respect you? You know, now, if we want to go on the forgiveness train, we can forgive him. But to me, I would only be forgiving him if he has changed. Like, are you still this person who you now have a family with another woman? Are you going to go out and cheat on her? Is that your character? Are you an adulterer? Right? I would be looking for change. I'd be looking for a repentant heart. And I don't see that yet. I don't see a repentant heart. So if I'm a kid and I don't see that my dad is sorry for cheating on my mom, why would I build a relationship with him? He doesn't have a repentant heart. You can get forgiveness when you repent and we can reconcile and we can have a relationship. But if you don't repent, why am I trying to talk to you? So, you know, there's multiple layers here, but your kids don't want your money. They don't. They don't want your money. They want your relationship. They want your honor. They want your integrity. That's what they want to see.
This stuff you're supposed to do if you have it as a dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I don't know how I became this evil human being that they want nothing to do with.
I already told you. And why are you acting so obtuse? Why are you so obtuse? I can tell you why you became this evil person. As I said, you had time to go do shows and cheat, but you didn't have time to build a relationship. Do I think you should have the opportunity? If you demonstrate a repentant heart, yes. But to act like you don't know why, stop. That is willful ignorance. You know exactly why. It's because you made a mistake and you won't even say it. Like this right here, your kids could be watching this right here and you won't even say, I know they probably really, really hate me because I cheated on their mom and that's their mom. That's their mother. But you're on this podcast with a touch of arrogance, saying, I fed you, I clothed you, I sent you to private school, you didn't want for anything, and that should be enough so I could treat your mama however I want to. That is what they hear. You have to understand what children are hearing. That is what they're watching. That is the message that they're getting. You know what I mean?
I was like, obviously, I'm not perfect. I read somewhere that somebody said, when you go through the divorce, when kids are little, they idolize their dad. Mm-hmm. And then when divorce happens, they demonize them. And then as time goes by, they humanize them. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I'm in the demon state right now. But it's just been so long that I got to sneak around to try to just lay eyes on them. Like when the Bengals won the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm.
They idolize you. Can I tell you guys something? They idolize you because they think you're perfect. They want to be like you. And They want to be like you until you stop showing them that you are worthy of being like. Let me say it again. Oh, I don't know why. He's like, I don't know why these kids, you know, they idolize you, then they demonize you. I'm in the demon stage. Yes, children will idolize you because they think they're perfect and they want to be like you. And that really doesn't go away until you do something that allows that to change their mind, and you have done something that allows that to change your mind. They're not demonizing you for no reason. Stop it. Quit it. They're not demonizing you for no reason. They're demonizing you because they watched you cheat on their mother and have no remorse. Stop it. Stop it. We have to be honest. And I'm not into this. I'm not into this, oh, woe is this whole thing with men right now. It's like, woe is me. I don't know why they hate because they saw you. And children, let me tell you something about kids, because I've worked with kids for so long, and I have messed up with kids, right? And as long as you say, I am so sorry, I am human too, I was wrong, they continue to respect you. But they demonize you when you can't admit that you were wrong. Yes, kids feel like they cheat on the mom is like cheating on us too. Yes. Yes. I don't understand why he's acting like he doesn't understand why they're so upset, why they don't want to talk to him. You have not exhibited any remorse. That's not okay. Like, I don't understand this. And the way that Shannon is like, yeah, no. Hold him accountable. Hold him accountable for breaking his children's trust too. And this is what I mean by, like, when I was saying your kids don't want your money, they want you to be honest. They want you to be truthful. They want you to have integrity. That's what they want. That's what they respect. They don't respect you because you keep lying. You keep lying to yourself about why they won't talk to you. They just want you to be honest. I guarantee you, if you sent a message and said, listen, I am so sorry for what I did to you and your mother. There was no excuse. I am going to therapy. I am working on being a better man. I am so sorry that I missed out on so much of your life. Will you forgive me? But the pride is too strong, y'all, because that's what it takes. That is what it takes. He's not taking any accountability whatsoever.
I got tickets. So I texted both of them because when I call, they won't answer. So I got a text. And sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. So I was like, I got tickets. I got 4. You guys want to go? And they was both like, no. So I was like, dang. And then
Definitely just no, not in love with that. I had other plans. I got other arrangements.
I ain't gonna say what they said, but it wasn't pretty. And then I said, I flew to Greensboro, where my daughter's in school, and knocked on her door. And she wouldn't answer the door. And then my ex ended up calling and was like, my road manager was with me. She knows with me. She called my road manager. And she was like, why is he at the door? Why is he at the door?
So she's looking at the door to see?
No, my daughter called.
Yes, what I'm saying.
So she's like, why is he at the door?
Yes.
And he's like, he's just trying to see her. She goes, no, it's not time. She's not ready. She said, write a letter and put it in the mail. I go, what?
Do you see? And he's like, why do I need to write a letter and put it in the mail? You don't get it, baby. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't understand that she's asking you to speak to her heart. You want to take her to these things. You're still doing the same thing that you were doing before. You want to take her to a game. You want to take her to a comedy show. She wants you to look her in the eye and say, I never want a man to do to you what I did to your mother. Take notes, Gary Owens. Take notes. That's exactly what she wants you to do. And she wants you to apologize. But you keep going, why do you want me to write a letter? See, you want it on your terms. And this is the arrogance. This is the arrogance that is why you're still in your situation. And again, I know that the internet right now is full of men who dislike women, right? And I think There are a lot of women who plague men during divorces. I understand that that happens. This, however, is not that. This is not that. This is a man who is refusing to take accountability for his actions and then using his money to try and justify and to try and soothe a wound that is so deep, especially for his daughter. Especially for his daughter. We have to be honest about that part too. Daughters, and they say this all the time and it's true, your father is the person that you learn how to love from and learn how to receive love from. And he's the first man that you trust. And you ruined it. And now you want to pull a Kobe Bryant and say, well, I have this money. Now I have this money. I have this. No, we're not Vanessa Bryant. We do not want a 10 carat diamond ring. Tell the truth. He's gaslighting his daughter. So yes. Oh, on national television. How many views does this thing have? This is just one clip, 159,000 views. I don't know what I did wrong. Really?
This was still right now?
This ain't 1985.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yes.
So that happened. Then I found out she was flying. I found out one of her flights one time. I ran into her at the airport, and I was like, I kept my distance. I didn't run up on her, and I waved, and she waved back. And I was like, oh, want to have a shot here? And then she dipped in the bathroom. And then 45 minutes, I waited, and she never came out. And I just went. So I left. And then when I went to her graduation, yeah, they made it very clear: don't come up, don't talk to her, don't approach her, and nothing like that. I was like, so I don't know how. At this point, I don't know how to reconcile the relationship. I'm just letting them know that I love them, I'm proud of them, and whenever they call, I don't care where I'm at, I'm there. I've told them, I said, you want to go to Hawaii? You want to go to Dubai? Where you want to go? Because we can go.
He keeps doing it. Where do you want to go? What can I do for you? How much? Here's my money. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. It's actually like really sad. It's actually very sad to me that he doesn't get how important it is to acknowledge, especially for girls, really. I mean, I don't want to say that boys don't need this because they do too, but it's in a different way. But for girls to know that they can trust you. And at her age, I'm sure she's experienced men now, like in a way of dating where, they're slick and, slick talking and they got money and they're trying to, I'm sure she's experiencing that too. And she's like, you just like these dirt bag boys I'm messing with in college. And at the, that I see at the bar or wherever she's at. You don't get it. Kids don't want your money. Do they need a place to stay? Yes. Do they need healthy food? Yes. They also need nurturing relationships with their fathers. And then you don't find yourself in situations like this. You were just a bank account because that's what you made yourself to be. I am so sorry, but that is the truth. Did you have talks with her? Did you show up for her emotionally? Oh, I'm not a woman. Okay. Well, let me tell you something about Jesus, because Jesus showed up for people emotionally too. And he's the greatest man that ever existed. God shows up for people emotionally too. Yeah, did he validate her feelings? No, he didn't. And because he doesn't get it, he's still living in his macho era of, I fed you and I clothed you and this is all you deserve. And I gave you everything that you needed, and so therefore I deserve your energy. No. You do have to earn that back now.
Go somewhere so far away and just sit down and have it out. So I literally don't know what to do at this point.
When you're looking at the relationship that you currently have with your kids, how much of your mind replays the relationship that you had with your biological father?
We didn't really have one growing up. He wasn't around too much. He just kind of popped in and out. So, like I said, I had an absentee father, and an abusive stepfather. So that's not good. I didn't know how to be a dad. So, like I said, I don't want to trap.
So he just said it. That's okay. Admit that. Like, say that to your children. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to be a dad. Nobody taught me how to be a dad. And I'm still working on it. But he has this shell, this arrogance, this, it's like, no, baby, you don't get it. He has this shell and this arrogance of, well, I didn't know how to be a dad. I'm doing the best I can. Yes, and tell her that you're working on it. Say that to her. Have you told her? You're saying this to this man, but she needs to hear that.
Asked my ex because when we first got together, she had a son, and I literally was like, came home one day, I said, I'm gonna break up, and she goes, what do you mean? You just like I just moved in with her. She was like, you just moved in. I said, I'm scared that your son is gonna look at me like I look at my stepdad, and I'm scared I'm gonna turn into him. And she was like, don't worry about it. She was just follow my lead. I'll tell you what to do, and if you're going wrong, and that's all you gotta do. So I think that's what I did for a lot of the relationship. I just kind of did what she said when I was home and didn't like try to rock the boat. But yeah, it scared me. But yeah, my biological dad, he's a like, hey, god damn, dude. I'm so mad I came out of his nutsack.
But you gotta, but hold on. Yeah, you're gonna have to reconcile. Because
with him?
Yes.
Nah, bruh.
Forgiveness is not for him. It's for you. Look how you're talking. Your emotions are being held hostage. You're not free.
Free from that.
Not Shannon. Not Shannon Sharp being the emotionally intelligent one on this show. What's crazy, you guys, is this is some like Inception stuff, right? Like the way that he feels about his father is the way his kids feel about him, but he doesn't get it. Like that's crazy. He just said, like, I can't stand my dad or my stepdad. I'm so mad I came out of his, testicles or whatever. They feel the same way about you because you acted just like your daddy. Stop it. It's actually kind of crazy to watch him say these things and not be able to hear himself back and go, wow. Oh, thank you. I like to subscribe. You're awesome. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
No. You're not free from your emotions.
I mean, this is okay. This is a relationship with my real dad. So went around a lot growing up, and then he pop up every now and then.
Right.
And then there were countless Sundays you're waiting on him, he doesn't show up.
Right.
And then get older, get on TV, in a couple movies. Also, he's coming around a little bit.
Yeah.
He's wanting all the perks. Because I always said I always heard people like, be careful, man. You got people out there using you. I didn't realize it was my dad the whole time because I'm blinded because I'm on my relationship with my dad.
Right.
So during the course of the divorce, at one point, nobody was served yet. I flew home to Cincinnati. I want to go to a Reds game. I got to do something, but I can't sit in the stands. I'm scared I'm going to get served. So I got a rep that works for the Reds. He got a suite for me, not my name. I paid for it. I called my buddy. 5-6 guys came. We had a good day at the ballpark. Nobody took pictures. Nobody did social media posts. We just hung out. Next morning, 7:17 in the morning, I wake up. I got a voicemail from my dad. He's like, hey, it's your dad. And you don't respect me. And he's just cussing me out, telling me I don't respect him, and said I'm out of your life. And
Is he intoxicated at this
time? No, this is in the morning. This is 7:17 in the morning. Now, he don't drink like that. So I was like, he never said why he's mad. So I get a text about an hour later, and it's like a book. He's like, I heard you came to the Reds game. You didn't invite me. I come to expect this behavior from you. My other kids keep me in their lives. You don't. I'm going, this is over a Reds game? So I called him. And when I called him, I immediately was like, Dad, I got your voicemail. I got your text. And he goes, yeah, I meant every word of it. I was like, this ain't going to go well. So we started talking, right? And it's getting heated, right? And the week before I came home, so I got 2 identical twin sisters. They did like a family photo shoot, and nobody called and invited me. But that's normal with that side, right? So, because I wasn't in the house with them. My sister's so much younger than me. So I wasn't tripping, but I was like, it would have been cool if someone would have called, but I wasn't tripping. So in the course of him cussing me out over a Reds game, I said, Dad, you took family pictures and didn't even invite me. Right. And he goes, oh, I knew this was coming. Here comes this. That's the only time I snapped. I said, fuck you, wife, family, homie, and hung up on him. And that's the last conversation we had. Then let me tell you what he did. He started calling my ex that he wanted nothing to do with, been on my side during the divorce, started giving all his dirt on me. All his, and he's posting it on his Facebook page. Posted it on his Facebook. Then
he needs to go to therapy. This is so deep. He needs to go to therapy. Really. And I'm really glad that Shannon is giving him the opportunity to air this out because it shows my question is this. Did you work so much because you didn't know how to be a father and you were escaping those responsibilities? You didn't do the work to be a father. You didn't. You didn't do the work to figure out what you need to do to be a father, knowing that you came from a place where you didn't have a father. I'm just saying, debating if I want to share this or not. My dad did not have a father, but he did some very clear things that were like, I'm not doing what my dad did. Like, that's all you had to do was like not do what your dad did. And you did it anyway. And you're still very angry. And I get it. I get it. But Shannon's right. He's got to forgive them. And then he's got to look back and go, why are my children mad at me? Oh, because of this.
Post a picture of my ex-wife on his Facebook page. I was like, I got you back for this divorce. You've always been like a daughter to me. He don't even like black people. So to have it play out like this, it was my worst nightmare.
Help me understand. I want to see if this is true, because I read this. Your former show opener told your wife about some of the indiscretions you were having.
Yup. That
Really, G?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I get why Kevin keeps the plastic cup boys. I get why Kat keeps people around him. And I'm not talking about to hide secrets like cheating. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about those dudes you got to trust, because you're with them more than your family half the time. You got to get along with them. You got to be able to open up to them. Like, I'm having issues at the house. Those are like your therapists on the road. So this dude that I fired in 2018, when my divorce happened, is the fact that he called her and they started talking and he started telling her dirt about me. I was like, because we was in mediation. This is like out of a movie. We in mediation. And she goes, yeah, I know, look, Gary, I know about the girls. I ain't mad about that. And then she started naming off these girls, and some are right and some are wrong. But there's one in particular, I went, wait a minute. I didn't know it. She said, I know about this. So I'm making up a name. I know about Sally. I'm going with the white name because you know it ain't true. She said, I know about Sally. She goes, this dude, she goes, he told me you fired him because you found out he slept with her. And I went, so here I am. I'm just making movements at this point. I go, because I'm like, wait a minute. So now it's hit me, wow. She found out about this girl that is like, I'm talking, this was years ago. Right. I'm going through my Rolodex, and when she said the name, like, I'm like, oh my God.
This is disgusting. So, again, you wanted to cover up a multitude of sins with some money for your children. You wanted to cover up a multitude of sins. It wasn't, you didn't cheat one time. You cheated for years. Stop it. Stop it. You cheated for years, and now you want your daughter to be like, oh yeah, Dad, you're so great. It wasn't a one-time thing. Sick. Just sick. Your kids don't want your money. They want you to not be an idiot.
What? And then she goes, yeah, he said you fired him because you found out he slept with her too. So now I'm saying, like, wait a minute. She knows I slept with this girl, and I didn't know my opener slept with her too. So I go, wait a minute, this is my back. This will tell you, you can kill the Sopranos for that. So I was like, oh, yeah, so I'm not even gonna say his name. He don't deserve it.
And you know it had to be, he had to have told, because at the time she didn't bring it up. She didn't mention anything about it. So she couldn't have known.
And he was the only one who knew. There was some information only he and I knew.
Right.
So I was like, But that's why he's at where he's at in his career right now. If you find him at a coffee shop near you.
Is it hard being on?
What's crazy to me too is how these men want people to lie for them. Like, it's diabolical. It's demonic. This is giving me like the heebie-jeebies. Like, I feel sick to my stomach. This is disgusting. You are unclear as to why your children hate you, but you are wishing ill on somebody who told the truth. And the pride, you guys, like the pride. Yeah, I was going through my Rolodex. Ew. If I was his daughter, I would wait for him to repent also. If I were his daughter, I wouldn't have anything to say either. Are you joking? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm sorry.
On the road And a lot of times you travel alone, and women, like you say, they come up, hey, man, that's Gary. Oh, he's great. He been in the movie, yada, yada, yada. And you know, you're like, well, you know, he's your boy G. You know, what he do?
Yeah.
Does that get hard?
When you say hard,
Yes.
what gets hard? It does.
Does it get hard to say no?
It does. Yeah, it's not the easiest, especially when you grow up like I did, where I didn't have attention.
Right.
I didn't have nobody tell me I'm great.
Right.
You know, so to get people like they like me, and then
Damn the reasons.
yeah, you're like, whoa, I never got attention like this.
Right.
And that's, you know, yeah, so it's, I would tell people, it's similar to ball players and stuff. I was like, yo, I would tell women, never get married to anybody in their 20s in the entertainment or athlete or anything. I go, they got to get out of their system. You got to let them get out of their system. It's just too much access to things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's easier the older you get.
Right.
But man, your 20s?
Yeah.
That's hard.
How's dating now?
Great.
So how do you meet?
I'll keep, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep everything on social media because the way it played out,
Right.
Because I'm seeing somebody, but I don't want to blast it like that.
Right.
Because
He doesn't want to blast it like that because he still wants to be able to cheat. Y'all nasty. Just sick. Just, ugh. I feel like I need to rebuke this. Like, you know, like, this, I rebuke it. I rebuke it. It's just, I rebuke it. It's so sick. It's so sick. He's not wrong, though. Don't date anybody in the industry.
the internet's not good for a relationship, and you know, until I'm right with my kids, I ain't posting nothing else. I feel like it's almost thrown in their face a little bit. So I want to be right with them, and then maybe I'll be open to sharing my personal.
Is she okay?
He got some common sense. He said, oh, I don't want to post it on social media until I'm right with my kids. Well, I already told you how to do that, sweetheart. So
With that, because a lot of times women want to be posted like, hey, you hide me because you don't want nobody else to see, but you're doing this for another reason, a very good reason.
Yeah.
Is she okay with this?
She's okay. Yeah. I don't think she's tripping. She'll bring up every now and then, but it's not like she's harping on it. She gets it.
Right.
She gets it.
There's this thing that's going around. What's an ideal first date? Is it 50-50? You take care of everything. You got to go to a restaurant that, you know, even if you get the most minor thing, it's going to be $250, $300. What's an ideal first date, Gary?
Just. I mean, that's a guy.
Off the top. Off the top.
He said ideal. That don't cost no money. And I just remember we went over her place, and I never seen hips move like that, bro. So we started. My mom either. Nobody.
No, you just your dad, your mom, brother, sister.
I know I sound like Amanda Seals right now. Everybody hates me. But sorry. And I don't know, man. I don't want to bag her like that, but it's whatever. Yeah, mom's different though. Like I feel bad for my mom. She's just been beat down by life. And I've told her numerous times, like I can help you and get you out of this. You just gotta leave that dude. My stepdad, and she won't leave him. So last time I saw my mom was May 20th.
yeah, you're right. Family therapy is what he needs, because what I'm hearing is there was a lot of trauma in his life. And what's crazy is like he has all this money. Like he has enough money to go find a good therapist and to get help. But he actually he enjoys the drama and the trauma. That's all he knows. And as someone who's had extended family who is in different situations, I can tell you that when you get therapy, your life changes. And he's refusing to change. So until he gets that help, his children are just gonna, because they're gonna go to therapy is what they're gonna do. They're gonna go to therapy and get the help that they need to recover from him in the way that he's not doing what he needs to do to recover from his father. Yep. He doesn't want to change his disloyal ways. He only wants to improve his disloyal game. That's right. That's exactly what it's sick. Anyway, you guys, that was my live for today. I just wanted to share that because it was Mother's Day and I was just thinking about relationships and how, let me tell you about my mom. And just how much effort that mothers and good parents put into investing in their children and getting to know their children, and how long that how that pays off in the long run. Because that way, when things do come up like this, your kids know who you are. So even if the parents break up, they still have a good relationship with their dad and their mom, because both parties equally invested in the emotional health of the child. And that's so important. Like one thing I appreciate about my mom is that she asks questions. She gets involved. She was I'm older now, but when we were younger, she asked questions. She got involved. She was available to talk to. And she didn't, you know, she wasn't judgy. Like, of course she had opinions. She's a mom. But we had a relationship, and we have a relationship. And because of that, if someone said something, I'd be like, nah, that's not my mom. I know that. Right? And that's what Gary wants from his children. He wants that kind of relationship, but he won't take the steps, right? He's still trying to do the money thing. He's still trying to do that. I'll pay for you to go here. I'll take you on a trip. I'll buy your car. I'll buy you a flight here. Not realizing that they want to hear you apologize. They want to see you be a broken man, not because they want to see you broke down. They want to see that you are repentant because they want to trust you, and your children want to trust you. And when you go on social media and talk about the 50,000 women that you cheated on their mom with, this is what you get. Period. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys the next one. Bye.